Success is not in what you have, but who you are. Epictetus. Most people waste their energy on things they can't control: opinions, external validation, and comparison. They get caught up in the noise, constantly distracted by what others are doing instead of focusing on their own path. This is why they stay stuck, frustrated, and unfulfilled. True success isn't about chasing approval or measuring yourself against someone else's progress. It's about relentless focus on yourself, your growth, your discipline, and your execution. When you fully commit to this mindset, everything changes. Your confidence strengthens, your results multiply, and your potential becomes limitless. In this video, I'll break down 10 powerful principles that will help you eliminate distractions, take full control of your mindset, and build the habits that lead to massive success. These aren't just theories. They are the exact mindset shifts that separate those who achieve extraordinary results from those who never move forward. Stay until the end, because every second of this will push you closer to becoming the best version of yourself. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps out, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's keep going. 1. Accept that you are alone on this journey. One of the hardest truths about success is realizing that at the end of the day, you are the one who has to do the work. You can have all the help, advice, or guidance in the world, but it's up to you to take responsibility for your path and your future. The sooner you accept this truth, the quicker you'll understand that the journey to success is yours alone. There is no rescue operation coming, and no one will do the work for you. This is both a daunting and empowering realization. On one hand, it means you can't rely on others to make things happen for you. On the other hand, it means that you have absolute control over your destiny. It's your choice to succeed or fail. Think of every successful person you admire. They didn't get there by waiting for someone to push them. They didn't sit around hoping for a lucky break. Instead, they put in the work when no one was watching, faced obstacles alone, and overcame the challenges that no one else saw. They embraced solitude and took ownership of their journey. When you embrace the fact that you're alone on this journey, you begin to understand the importance of self-reliance. You don't need anyone's approval, validation, or even encouragement to move forward. Success begins with taking full accountability for your life and choices. This also means accepting that failures will be your responsibility, but so will the victories. It's empowering because you control both the challenges and the rewards. You are not a victim of circumstances. You're the architect of your own success. Here's a powerful exercise to internalize this. Imagine that every single person in your life, family, friends, mentors, colleagues, disappeared for a year. Imagine that you couldn't rely on anyone for emotional support, advice, or help. Could you still succeed? This is what focusing only on yourself looks like. You build your own internal support system. You develop the mental toughness and emotional resilience to face whatever comes your way. If you can truly embrace being alone in this process, you'll develop a level of self-sufficiency that others can't touch. Being alone doesn't mean being isolated. It means that you no longer depend on others for your motivation, validation, or sense of purpose. Instead, your focus is purely on yourself, on developing your skills, advancing your goals, and constantly striving to improve. People who succeed in life are the ones who own their journey. They don't sit around waiting for someone to tell them what to do or how to feel. They're not looking for someone else's permission. They understand that their goals are theirs to achieve, and their dreams are their responsibility to manifest. So the first step toward massive success is ownership. Take ownership of your success, your failures, your time, your choices. Nobody else is coming to make it happen for you. It's on you, and that's a huge advantage because you are in control. Once you accept this, everything else becomes easier. You'll no longer feel resentful when things go wrong because you know you're the one responsible. You won't waste time looking to others for answers because you trust yourself to find the way. The journey might be lonely, but it will be worth it. Your progress will depend entirely on the work you put in and the satisfaction you'll feel knowing that it was all you. That is what true success feels like. 2. Stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is the silent killer of ambition. Every time you compare yourself to someone else, you chip away at your own confidence and sense of purpose. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking someone else's success means you're failing, but this mindset is poisonous. In today's world, we're constantly bombarded with the highlight reels of other people's lives. On social media, in the news, and even in casual conversations. We see others' achievements, their vacations, their accomplishments, and subconsciously, we start to measure ourselves against them. But what we don't see is their struggles, failures, and setbacks. We don't see the countless hours they spent failing before achieving their success, the sacrifices they made, or the hard decisions they faced. The truth is, you're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel. This is why you need to stop. Stop measuring your progress based on someone else's journey. Instead, shift your focus inward. Start comparing yourself to who you were yesterday, not to someone else's today. Social media has created a warped reality. People show you only their best moments, the vacations, the perfect photos, the shiny cars, and the awards. But the reality is, behind every picture-perfect post, there's a story of struggle, sacrifice, and imperfection. No one is perfect. No one's life is flawless. And when you compare yourself to an illusion, you rob yourself of peace. Real success doesn't come from trying to emulate someone else's life. It comes from understanding and embracing your own unique journey. If you constantly measure yourself against others, you're setting yourself up for disappointment and failure. This comparison cycle leads to what psychologists call social comparison. It's the idea that we gauge our own worth by measuring ourselves against others. But studies show that people who engage in constant comparison have lower self-esteem, feel more anxious, and are generally less satisfied with their lives. So why keep putting yourself through that? When you stop comparing yourself to others, you free up energy to focus on your own path and your own growth. Everyone's timeline is different. Some people find success early, while others take longer. But that doesn't diminish your own potential. Stop rushing. Trust your process. You are exactly where you need to be right now, even if you can't see it. When you focus on your unique path and embrace your own timeline, you stop feeling the pressure to meet societal expectations. Remember, success doesn't happen overnight. Some people may seem to achieve it quickly, but many are simply better at hiding the struggles. Your journey is yours alone, and it will unfold at its own pace. Instead of comparing yourself to someone else, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Ask yourself, am I better today than I was yesterday? This shift in focus will allow you to track your personal growth and appreciate how far you've come. Celebrate your small wins, because they're the stepping stones to bigger successes. Focus on the effort you put in every day. If you're getting better, you're winning. If you're learning, you're succeeding. Every person has unique strengths and weaknesses. But when you focus on comparing yourself to someone else, you start ignoring your own gifts. You may be overlooking the things you're great at, simply because you're too busy looking at someone else's abilities. Instead, ask yourself, what am I good at? What sets me apart? How can I double down on these strengths? Embrace what makes you unique. When you stop comparing, you begin to realize that your uniqueness is your greatest asset. It's okay to admire someone else's achievements, but do it without envy. Learn to celebrate others' successes without allowing them to diminish your own self-worth. Instead of thinking, why them and not me? Think, what can I learn from them? When you adopt this mindset, you'll stop viewing others as competitors and start viewing them as collaborators or sources of inspiration. There's more than enough success to go around, and your success is not tied to someone else's failure. When you constantly compare yourself to others, you're seeking external validation. You want to feel good about yourself by measuring up to others. But external validation is fleeting. It's never enough. Instead, focus on internal validation. Know your worth without needing someone else to tell you. Trust your own decisions, abilities, and progress. When you stop looking to others for approval, you will feel more confident and empowered to chase after your goals. By letting go of the habit of comparison, you create space to develop your own path, build on your strengths, and stay focused on your growth. When you focus only on yourself, you free yourself from the trap of doubt and insecurity. So remember, you are not them. You are you, and that's more than enough. 3. Master the art of self-discipline. Self-discipline is the foundation of any form of success. It's what separates those who dream about success from those who actually achieve it. If you want massive success, motivation alone isn't enough. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. Discipline, however, is the muscle that keeps you moving when motivation dips. Think about it this way. If you wait for motivation to start your work, you might be waiting forever. Motivation is like waiting for the weather to be perfect to go outside. It may never come, or it may be too late when it does. But discipline allows you to work through the cold, the rain, or the fog, knowing that consistency will eventually lead to clarity and results. Self-discipline is about building systems and structures that override your feelings. It's saying no to temporary comfort so you can say yes to long-term fulfillment. Let's break this down. The most successful people aren't necessarily the most talented, but they are the most disciplined. They have rituals that are set in stone. What are your non-negotiables? What do you absolutely need to do every day without fail? For example, a successful morning routine could include meditation, journaling, reading, exercising, or anything that sets you up for a productive day. The key is consistency. If you wake up and already know the first few hours of your day are dedicated to self-improvement, then you've already won. Your evening routine is just as important. It should be about unwinding and reflecting on the day's work. Did you accomplish what you set out to do? What can you improve tomorrow? This ensures that your mind is prepped for success even before you sleep. Discipline is about showing up for yourself. There will be days when you don't feel like it, but the difference between someone who succeeds and someone who doesn't is the ability to push through even when you don't feel like it. Think about your goals. They are only achievable if you show up every day. So build routines around the things that matter most to you and make them your priority. One of the biggest killers of productivity is procrastination. And procrastination often comes from not knowing how to tackle a task or feeling overwhelmed by it. The antidote? Eat the frog. This is a concept from Mark Twain. If you have to eat a live frog, do it first thing in the morning. In practical terms, this means attacking the most difficult or daunting task of your day before anything else. This builds momentum and frees up mental space for the rest of the day. Not only does it give you the satisfaction of knowing you've handled the hardest part, but it creates a ripple effect, making the rest of your day feel more manageable. Discipline doesn't thrive in chaos. You need to know what you're working toward. Set clear, achievable goals that are broken down into actionable steps. This could be weekly targets, monthly milestones, or even daily checkpoints. The key is to break large, intimidating tasks into bite-sized pieces that are easy to follow. When you're clear on the what, discipline follows because you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Without this clarity, it's easy to get distracted, overwhelmed, or give in to laziness. Self-discipline isn't just about resisting short-term temptations. It's about being mentally tough. Mental toughness is about pushing through discomfort and overcoming the voice in your head that says, "Not today." This might look like working when it's inconvenient. Everyone has an excuse to take the day off. The difference between successful people and those who are still trying is the willingness to work, even when things aren't ideal. Embracing discomfort is also a huge part of mental toughness. Whether it's a tough workout, an intense study session, or a business meeting, the ability to work through discomfort will separate you from the crowd. Life's challenges don't go away just because you avoid them, but facing them head-on builds resilience. The best way to stay disciplined is by creating accountability systems. It's easy to slack off when no one is watching. Whether this is telling someone about your goals or tracking your progress publicly, accountability makes it harder to back out of your commitments. You can tell a friend or family member your plans and check in with them regularly to report your progress. Alternatively, you could join communities, forums, or groups that have shared goals or values. Being around other disciplined people will naturally elevate your own standards. Discipline is like a muscle. You don't wake up with a six-pack of discipline. It's something you have to build over time. Just like a muscle, it becomes stronger the more you work it. If you fail on a task one day, don't let it crush your motivation. A setback is a part of the process. You can always restart tomorrow, but the key is never stopping. If you miss a day of writing, working out, or building your business, just get back on track the next day. Discipline is like a snowball. It starts small, but as you continue to take action, the momentum builds and you'll find it easier to do the things that once felt impossible. Mastering self-discipline is about creating systems, routines, and mindsets that prioritize your long-term success over short-term satisfaction. It's about building habits, becoming mentally tough, and relentlessly pushing through obstacles. When you can master self-discipline, nothing can stop you from achieving your biggest goals. 4. Cut out distractions and negative influences. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. They come in many forms: endless notifications, people demanding your attention, social media that keeps you hooked, even your own negative thoughts. But here's the thing: you cannot afford to be distracted if you want to achieve massive success. Every second of your day is valuable, and every moment spent on something that doesn't align with your goals is a moment you'll never get back. The first step is to get real with yourself. What are the things that pull you away from your purpose? Is it mindlessly scrolling through Instagram or TikTok? Is it binge-watching Netflix shows instead of working on your goals? Or is it even people who bring drama, negativity, or energy-draining habits into your life? It's important to get clear on what these distractions are. Many people think they're just fine multitasking or taking breaks every few minutes, but in reality, these habits kill focus and slow down progress. A distraction is anything that prevents you from giving 100% attention to the most important thing in your life, your goals. Let's talk about social media for a moment, because it's one of the biggest distractions of the modern age. We often fool ourselves into thinking we're keeping up with friends, or we might get trapped in the comparison game, looking at others' achievements and feeling like we're falling behind. Here's a radical idea. Take a break from social media for a week. Turn off notifications. Only log in when you actually need to. You'll quickly realize how much time you've been wasting. The mental space you'll create by removing these distractions will surprise you. When you return, consider following accounts or pages that inspire you. People who are building their own empires, thought leaders in your field, or motivational accounts that remind you of your bigger vision. Focus on surrounding yourself with content that elevates your mindset rather than weighs it down. The people you spend time with play a huge role in the direction of your life. It's easy to stay comfortable with the people around you, whether they're old friends, family, or co-workers, but you have to ask yourself, do they support your growth? Negative influences can sometimes come from those closest to you, even if it's unintentional. A friend who complains about everything, a family member who undermines your ambitions, a co-worker who keeps gossiping and creating drama. These people might be good-hearted, but if their energy drains you and holds you back from your true potential, it's time to reassess the relationship. It's difficult, but sometimes you need to set boundaries with people who are not aligned with your vision. You don't have to cut everyone off completely, but limit the time you spend with people who don't contribute to your growth. Your environment, who you're around, what you expose yourself to, is so powerful. It either fuels your success or holds you back. Choose your circle wisely. Another critical skill to develop in cutting out distractions is learning to say no. Whether it's a request from a friend to meet up, a project at work that doesn't align with your goals, or even opportunities that look good but aren't right for you, saying no is a powerful tool. Too many people say yes to things out of obligation or fear of missing out. They fill their schedules with activities that pull them in a million directions, leaving no time for the things that really matter. You must guard your time like it's the most precious resource you have, because it is. Every yes that doesn't serve your growth is a no to your future success. Distractions aren't always external. Often, the loudest noise comes from within. Negative self-talk, doubt, fear, and insecurity can be some of the biggest distractions of all. If you're constantly telling yourself that you're not good enough or that success is out of your reach, those thoughts will create a barrier that prevents you from focusing on what truly matters. Start paying attention to your thoughts. Are they empowering or disempowering? The negative, self-limiting thoughts you entertain will only drag you down. Challenge them. Replace "I can't" with "I will figure it out." Swap "I'm not good enough" with "I am constantly improving." The more you practice shifting your mindset, the less mental clutter you'll have, and the more focused you'll become. One of the easiest ways to cut out distractions is to create an environment that fosters focus. This means setting up a dedicated workspace where you can dive deep into your tasks without interruptions. Declutter your physical space. A clean workspace equals a clean mind. It also means eliminating digital distractions. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Set specific times to check emails or messages and avoid responding to them as soon as they come in. If you need to, use apps or tools that block distracting websites while you're working. These small shifts can help you maintain a high level of focus for longer periods of time. Cutting out distractions and negative influences isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. You have to be aware of what's pulling your attention away from your goals and make deliberate choices to eliminate those things. The more you focus on yourself and keep distractions at bay, the more progress you'll make, and the faster you'll move toward your version of success. 5. Create a vision and stick to it. If you don't have a clear vision, you're already lost. Success doesn't happen by accident, it's created with intention. Most people drift through life reacting to whatever comes their way instead of taking control and deciding exactly where they want to go. If you want massive success, you need to know exactly what that looks like for you. The first step is defining your end goal with absolute clarity. You can't just say you want to be successful or wealthy. That's too vague. You need to be specific. What does success actually mean to you? Where do you see yourself in 5, 10, or 20 years? What kind of life do you want to build? The more details you give your mind, the more it starts working toward making it real. Without clarity, you'll find yourself chasing everything and accomplishing nothing. Once you have your vision, you need a plan. Every big goal is just a series of small steps, and if you don't break it down, it will always seem impossible. If your goal is financial freedom, what's the exact path to get there? Do you need to develop a new skill, start a business, invest, or change your spending habits? If your goal is to get in the best shape of your life, what does your daily routine need to look like? Reverse engineering success takes the guesswork out of the process and makes progress inevitable. Writing your vision down is one of the most powerful things you can do. Studies show that people who write their goals are far more likely to achieve them. But it's not enough to write them once and forget about them. You need to see them daily. Read them every morning, every night, and let them sink into your subconscious. The more you remind yourself of where you're going, the more you naturally start making decisions that align with that destination. A strong vision isn't just about knowing what you want, it's about eliminating everything that doesn't serve that goal. That means cutting out distractions, time-wasting habits, and even people who hold you back. If something doesn't push you forward, it's pulling you back. Every decision you make should come with one question. Does this bring me closer to my vision, or is it taking me further away? The price of success is sacrifice. You can't keep doing the same things, surrounding yourself with the same influences and expect different results. But here's the hard truth. Motivation will fade. There will be days when you don't feel like working. Days when distractions tempt you and self-doubt creeps in. That's when your vision becomes your anchor. Success isn't about working hard when you feel inspired. It's about showing up, executing, and staying disciplined even when you don't feel like it. The people who win are the ones who push through the resistance and keep going when everyone else would quit. No matter how solid your vision is, life will test you. Obstacles will come. Plans will fall apart. That's not a reason to give up. That's just part of the process. The key is to adapt while staying locked in on the bigger picture. When things go wrong, Don't waste time asking why. Ask yourself what you can learn from it, how you can adjust, and how you can keep moving forward. Most people go through life without direction, letting outside forces decide their future. But if you take control, define your vision, and commit to it with relentless discipline, success isn't a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. 6. Build a bulletproof routine. Success isn't about random bursts of productivity, it's about systems. A solid routine removes decision fatigue, keeps you consistent, and makes progress automatic. When you structure your day with intentional habits, you eliminate distractions and stay locked in on your goals. Your morning sets the tone for your entire day. If you wake up and immediately check your phone, you've already lost control. Instead, start your day with discipline. Wake up at the same time every day, drink water before anything else, and move your body to wake yourself up. Give yourself time to think before you let the outside world in. Instead of scrolling through notifications, take a few minutes to plan your day. The most successful people don't wake up and wing it. They wake up with purpose. When it's time to work, eliminate distractions and focus on one thing at a time. Multitasking is an illusion of productivity. Every time you switch tasks, you lose focus and slow yourself down. Set clear time blocks for deep work and commit to them. Don't let notifications or social media pull you in different directions. If you spend most of your time reacting to things instead of executing your own plan, you'll always feel like you're falling behind. The key is to focus on what actually moves the needle and cut out everything that doesn't. Your evening routine is just as important as your morning. Instead of wasting hours on mindless content, use that time to grow. Reflect on your day and ask yourself what worked, what didn't, and how you can improve tomorrow. Read something that expands your mind. Write down your priorities for the next day so you wake up with clarity instead of confusion. Avoid screens before bed and let your mind unwind. Better sleep leads to better performance. The way you end your day directly impacts how you start the next one. The most important part of any routine is consistency. There will be days when you don't feel like sticking to it, but those are the days that matter most. Discipline isn't about doing things when they're easy, it's about showing up when it's hard. Over time, the small habits you build compound into massive results. The people who achieve extraordinary success aren't the ones who work in short bursts of motivation. They're the ones who commit, who show up every single day, and who refuse to negotiate with their excuses. If you can control your routine, you can control your future. 7. Master your emotions. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or intelligence. They fail because they let their emotions control them. If you allow feelings like fear, doubt, frustration, or laziness to dictate your actions, you'll always be a step behind. Success belongs to those who can move forward regardless of how they feel. True power comes from emotional control. The first step to mastering your emotions is understanding that they are temporary. No matter how intense an emotion feels in the moment, whether it's anger, anxiety, or discouragement, it will pass. The problem is, most people make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. They quit when things get hard. They react impulsively when they feel disrespected. They allow a bad day to turn into a bad week. If you want to win, you have to train yourself to pause. Step back. Give yourself space before reacting. A controlled mind makes better decisions. Emotional mastery isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about learning to respond instead of react. A reaction is immediate, raw, and often destructive. A response is calculated, thought out, and powerful. When something triggers you, don't let it dictate your behavior. Ask yourself what outcome you want and act accordingly. People who react emotionally to every little setback stay stuck. Those who respond with discipline and control rise above. One of the most powerful tools for emotional control is detachment. The Stoics taught that you cannot control events, only how you interpret them. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" shift your mindset to, "How can I use this to grow?" Everything is a test. People will doubt you, disrespect you, and try to throw you off course. If you take everything personally, you give away your power. The strongest individuals remain unfazed. They refuse to let outside forces dictate their internal state. To truly master your emotions, you have to let go of external validation. Most people are emotionally fragile because they rely on others for approval. If they get criticized, they break down. If they don't receive praise, they lose motivation. This is a weakness. A strong mind does not seek validation. Whether people love or hate you should not affect your mission. Focus on your work. Let results speak for themselves. Your inner dialogue shapes your reality. If you constantly feed yourself doubt, negativity, and self-pity, you will stay stuck. But if you control the way you speak to yourself, you take control of your future. Instead of thinking, "I can't do this," tell yourself, "I will figure it out." Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," remind yourself, "I am improving every day." The words you use internally either push you forward or hold you back. If you want emotional control, start by mastering your thoughts. Emotion itself is not the enemy. It only becomes a problem when you let it control you. The most successful people in the world don't ignore their emotions. They use them as fuel. Anger, frustration, and doubt can be turned into action. If you're rejected, let it push you to improve. If you're frustrated, channel that energy into working harder. If you're doubting yourself, prove yourself wrong by taking action. The key is to direct emotional energy where it serves you, instead of letting it become an obstacle. When you master your emotions, you become untouchable. Nothing can throw you off course. No setback, no criticism, no failure will shake you. You will move through life with calm discipline and unstoppable focus. That is the mindset of the truly successful. 8. Invest in yourself relentlessly. Your most valuable asset isn't the things you own or the people around you. It's you. The greatest investment you can make is in your own growth. You are the foundation of your success, and the more you develop yourself, the more opportunities will open up. Start with education. Knowledge is a powerful tool, but it's only valuable when you actively seek to learn and apply it. Take the time to invest in the right resources, books, courses, podcasts, or even seminars. But remember, it's not about consuming information for the sake of it. Be intentional. Choose the knowledge that aligns with your goals and helps you grow in the areas that matter most. Investing in specialized skills is another key part of growth. Whether it's mastering a new skill, learning a new language, or gaining proficiency in a technical area, your ability to adapt and excel at different things is a valuable asset. But it's not just about being good, it's about becoming exceptional. Focus on what sets you apart and be relentless in refining those skills. Mentorship is also incredibly powerful. Find those who have walked the path you want to take and seek their guidance. A mentor can offer perspective, share lessons from their own experience, and help you avoid mistakes. But remember to choose mentors who challenge you and encourage you to think beyond your comfort zone. Your physical health is a critical part of this investment. When you take care of your body through exercise, nutrition, and adequate rest, you give yourself the energy, confidence, and strength to pursue your goals. Your physical well-being has a direct impact on your mental sharpness, mood, and overall success. Mental health is equally important. Take time to reflect, meditate, or simply pause and breathe. Building emotional resilience allows you to stay focused even when challenges arise. Don't underestimate the importance of taking care of your mental state. Clarity of mind is essential when it comes to making sound decisions and staying consistent. Building a strong network is also an investment. Surround yourself with people who inspire and support you, those who elevate your thinking and push you to grow. It's not about the quantity of connections, but the quality. Meaningful relationships with like-minded people create opportunities for collaboration and growth that you wouldn't have on your own. And don't be afraid to spend money on your growth, whether it's enrolling in a course, hiring a coach, or investing in resources that help you improve. See it as an investment rather than an expense. The returns from developing yourself are invaluable. They pay off in ways you can't always predict, but they compound over time. As you continue to grow, keep the bigger picture in mind. Ask yourself, how can I use what I've learned to help others? True success comes not only from personal achievement, but from the ability to add value to the world around you. The more value you give, the more you will receive, in ways both tangible and intangible. However, as you focus on self-improvement, it's important not to push yourself too hard. There's no rush. It's not about immediate results, but about steady, consistent progress. Reflect regularly on how far you've come and give yourself space to appreciate your growth. Burnout happens when we demand too much too quickly. Pace yourself and allow the process to unfold at its own rhythm. At the end of the day, success isn't just about what you achieve externally. It's about who you become in the process, the skills you develop, the mindset you cultivate, and the person you grow into. Invest in yourself, not just for the success you seek, but for the kind of person you want to become. 9. Stop seeking validation. In today's world, with social media constantly feeding us information and external feedback, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation. The problem with this is that validation places your sense of worth in the hands of others, making your happiness and progress depend on their approval. And when you base your worth on something external, it becomes a cycle that leads nowhere. Seeking validation is a dangerous path because it leads to a life of constant uncertainty. You might post something online, wait for likes, or share an achievement, all in hopes of receiving praise. But the truth is, no amount of likes or positive feedback can fill the void inside you. Once the initial rush wears off, you're left with the same emptiness you had before. In fact, when you rely on external approval, you stop focusing on your own path and start looking at the paths of others. You become distracted by the journey of someone else and begin to measure yourself by their standards. The need for validation compromises your ability to make decisions from a place of clarity. Instead of moving confidently toward your goals, you'll second-guess every choice based on what others might think. You might find yourself mimicking others or following trends just to fit in or be accepted. This ultimately limits your potential because you're too busy seeking external approval to be your true, authentic self. The longer you stay trapped in this cycle, the harder it is to break free and focus on what truly matters to you. So how do you break free from this? First, you must learn to shift your focus inward. Begin by seeking validation from yourself, not from anyone else. When you accomplish something, ask yourself, am I proud of this? Did I give it my all? The only validation that truly matters is your own. Get into the habit of affirming yourself. Recognize your efforts, no matter how small, and take pride in the work you're doing for your own growth. Another key aspect is to reframe your self-worth. Your value isn't determined by how many people agree with you or how many likes you get. Your worth comes from the actions you take, the challenges you overcome, and the person you're becoming. Once you understand that, you'll realize that you no longer need external recognition to feel good about what you're doing. One of the most powerful things you can do is stop seeking approval and start focusing on action. When you focus on what you need to do and stop worrying about whether others will like it or approve, your life changes. Do the work for you. When you stop chasing validation, you'll realize that you no longer need permission to succeed. You become your own biggest supporter, and that makes your actions more impactful and genuine. Criticism is another area where seeking validation can hold you back. The fear of criticism often drives the desire for approval because we want to avoid judgment. But the truth is, criticism is part of growth. Learn to accept it as a tool for improvement, not a personal attack. When people criticize you, it's not about you being wrong. It's about the opportunity to refine your ideas, your approach, and your character. Don't let criticism stop you. Use it to propel yourself forward. At the core of it all, your success should be driven by your own internal compass. Stop looking to others for validation and start seeking it from within. The more you rely on your own sense of purpose and direction, the more confident and unstoppable you'll become. Ultimately, true validation comes from within, when you know who you are, what you stand for, and why you're doing the work. And once you free yourself from the need for external approval, you'll realize that the most rewarding success is the kind that you've created for yourself. Finally, the people you surround yourself with play a huge role in this journey. If you continue to seek validation from the wrong people, you'll always feel like you need to prove something. Instead, find individuals who support you, who value your authenticity, and who challenge you to grow. When you have the right people in your corner, you won't need to seek their approval because they'll already believe in you. 10. Take ruthless action. Taking action is the foundation of everything. Without action, ideas and knowledge are just dreams. You can plan, prepare, and strategize endlessly, but if you don't actually do something, nothing will happen. This is where most people fail. They get caught in the trap of thinking, I'll do it once I have everything figured out, or once I learn more, I'll take the first step. That mindset is a killer. The most successful people are the ones who understand that perfect action is a myth. You will never have everything figured out. There will always be uncertainty, there will always be mistakes along the way, and that's okay. Action creates momentum. When you start taking steps, no matter how small, you start to get feedback. You learn what works and what doesn't. And that feedback is invaluable because it shows you the way forward. Take a hard look at what's holding you back. Is it fear of failure? Is it procrastination? Or is it perfectionism, thinking that everything has to be just right before you start? Those are excuses. They're mental blocks that keep you trapped in a cycle of inaction. If you're waiting for the perfect moment or perfect plan, you'll be waiting forever. The world is full of people who are constantly planning but never acting. They never get anywhere because they're too afraid to move. When you take action, it's about starting immediately. You don't sit around thinking, what if I fail? Or what if I mess up? The truth is, you will fail and you will mess up, but that's exactly how you'll learn. Immediate action is about creating momentum. It's the difference between endlessly planning and actually getting started. Whether you're writing that first page of your book, launching that online business, or sending that cold email to a potential partner, do it today, not tomorrow. Once you've taken the first step, you can't stop. Success doesn't come from one-time actions, it comes from relentless consistency. This is where most people fall off. They get excited for a week or two and then fizzle out. But consistent daily action compounds over time. A little bit each day adds up. It's about building habits that move you forward. No matter what, keep pushing. Even when you don't feel like it, even when things are slow, even when it seems like nothing is happening. Keep going. Smart action is also crucial. It's not just about doing anything and everything. Smart action is about strategic decision-making. It's knowing what will have the most impact and focusing on that. You don't want to waste time with things that aren't going to move the needle. This means learning to say no to distractions and focusing your energy on the tasks that matter most. Get rid of the busy work and focus on the high-leverage actions that will push your goals forward. Prioritize what's truly important and leave the rest behind. With every step you take, you get valuable feedback. Action is never perfect at first, but with each attempt, you refine your approach. Failures will happen, and that's not a setback, it's a learning opportunity. The key is to keep moving forward and use every failure as data to optimize your process. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I improve? What do I need to learn to do better next time? Sometimes, to break through a barrier, you have to go all in. This is about putting everything on the line. No half measures, no holding back. When you take massive action, you go beyond what you thought you were capable of. It forces you to step up and rise to the challenge. And guess what? Massive action creates massive results. If you want massive success, you can't be afraid to go big. Take risks, invest your time, energy, and resources into your dreams, and take bold steps even when the outcome isn't certain. The key is not waiting for inspiration to hit or hoping that success will come to you. It's about realizing that you are in control of your own destiny and that only you can create the opportunities you need. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It doesn't matter if you don't feel ready. You will never feel ready to take action. You just have to do it anyway. The more you act, the more you'll grow, and the closer you'll get to the massive success you desire. The road to success is paved with action, and those who succeed are the ones who dare to start, again and again. So take action, today, right now. Do something that will push you toward your goals. Don't wait. The world rewards those who act with courage and conviction, and if you want massive success, it starts with the simple truth. You must take ruthless action every single day. Success isn't easy, but it is simple. Cut out the noise, focus only on yourself. Execute. Most people will never do this, but if you do, I'm fairly certain you will be unstoppable. Now watch this video on 5 scenarios to always stay silent. This form of communication is an absolute game changer. If this video hit home for you, drop a comment below and let me know which principle you'll implement first. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone you feel needs to hear this. Thanks for watching, and remember to be stoic, always.